Another principle of policy governance is that the board should speak with one voice or not at all. Boards need to communicate their decisions and their performance expectations to the organization without ambiguity. Things need to be clear. And we want to avoid the situation where the CEO or the executive director is uncertain about where the board stands or is getting conflicting signals from different board members on any particular issue. Avoiding these problems can be a challenge with boards because there are many people involved. People have diverse viewpoints. They often have a passion for the work of the organization. And there may be people with strong opinions and strong personalities. Putting this speaking with one voice principle into practice has a couple parts. First, boards need to make their decisions formally and in writing. The policy governance model forces much of board action into written policies in the four basic policy categories, and those are ends, executive limitations, board-CEO relationship, and the policy on how the board does its own job. Written policies formally approved by the board provide clarity. And this is so much better than having a board discussion on an issue that may result in an informal and perhaps vague sense of agreement. Everybody kind of nods their head, nobody really objects. And that may not get captured clearly in board meeting minutes. Next, board members must agree that once a board decision is made, all the board members are obligated to support that decision. The clarity of written policies can be easily undone if board members start sending signals to the organization that they disagree with a decision or prefer a different policy. Board members need to stay united around board actions even when they have opposed them. To do otherwise just confuses the organization about the board direction and can lead to conflicting behavior with part of the organization going one direction, part another, or in the confusion just deciding to ignore the board. Speaking with one voice is not intended to preclude robust and passionate discussion at board meetings. It's good to have diverse views, and it's good to have some disagreement. Now, we try to get diverse boards so that we do have different points of view, and frequently that the interplay between the different perspectives results in better board decisions. But disagreements about board policy should be confined to the boardroom so that the organization is confident that the board stands behind the policy once it's been adopted. Finally, the principle of one voice discourages board members from using their position as a board member to exert individual influence on the organization outside of formal board actions and outside of the board-CEO relationship. Staff frequently give considerable weight to what a board member might say, and they can easily infer from what one board member says the intent of the entire board. So it's important for board members to always work through the board on governance issues, and when they are speaking with staff, they should make it clear whether they are speaking on behalf of the board and speaking with one voice, and when they are speaking solely as an individual without the weight and authority of the board. This principle should not discourage the CEO and other staff members from seeking the advice and assistance of individual board members in doing the work of the organization. For many boards, that's an important function of the board, is to provide some resources with expertise that the organization may need, and that is particularly true with smaller organizations. Using board expertise is generally positive for the organization, but everyone needs to understand that in these circumstances, the board member is, in essence, working for the CEO and not there in a governance capacity. Speaking with one voice takes some personal discipline. It can be hard to set aside individual preferences and support a board decision that we may not have agreed with. It can be hard not to use our implied power as a board member to influence the organization when we care deeply about what that organization does. But the benefits of speaking with one voice are well worth the effort, and it helps avoid confusion and helps avoid a common source of board dysfunction.